Welcome back to Alchemy of the Dark Feminine with your host, Grayson Kahn. Today's episode is deeply personal and incredibly necessary. We're diving into the often invisible grief, survival mode, and emotional complexity that comes with going no contact with a narcissistic parent, especially when you're also trying to survive financially and break generational cycles at the same time. If you're like me, if you're walking this path, know that you are not alone. So, I just want to talk about really quick the hidden grief that nobody else talks about. So, first of all, you're grieving not just a parent, but the fantasy of who they could have been. You are literally grieving the parent that you never had and the parent that you will never have, and that you have to create that healthy inner parent dynamic within yourself, okay? And this is something that I feel like I have mastered within myself, within my masculine and feminine energy, is I have totally mastered nurturing myself, learning to love myself, taking care of myself, taking care of my hygiene, making sure that I have food and meals prepped, and I have breakfast for my day, I have dinner, I have supplements, I have water, I have everything that I absolutely need in order to properly take care of myself. And then on the flip side, for my masculine energy, I make sure that I budget. I'm very careful with how I spend my money. I align my spending with my values. And so because of that, I am energetically set up. I have an energetic foundation that I will be provided for with the current things that I am paying for at this time. So anyways, I just want to touch on that. Also, the pain of realizing that you were emotionally and also financially exploited and even neglected. So if you have or had a narcissistic parent, then more than likely you were absolutely financially abused, and your relationship with them was very transactional, and it was always, well, I'll buy the groceries, but you have to cook and you have to do this, right? Like, and in hindsight, it feels like an equal energy exchange, but really it's not. It's really an unhealthy, financially abusive, conditional dynamic. So, because, right, like the narcissistic parent, they don't actually love you. They don't have the capacity and the ability to love you because they don't even love themselves. So that is not real love. That's not a real healthy relationship, okay? And then another thing I want to mention is this feeling of feeling orphaned even though your parent is still alive. So I know I'm personally going through this where I feel like I'm orphaned. I feel like, well, damn. Like, I literally don't even have any parents. Like, I don't have any real healthy parents that I can just call up when I'm having a bad day, or if I'm stressing out financially or whatever. Like, I have to literally figure it out all on my own, and thank God I have an amazing support system at my job right now. I really have amazing coworkers, and they have really just helped me so much throughout my transition, and it's just wild. It's so wild how the people that are not my blood are so generous and so giving, and they bless me so hard that it's like there is no sensation or feeling of that there is a debt owed. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you receive a blessing, whether you believe it's from God, the universe, or whoever, right? Like there isn't this energy of, well, you owe me now that I've blessed you, right? Like there's not this energy that exists in my life anymore. And it's such a fucking relieving feeling. And it's just so like, it makes me so emotional because my entire life, that was always the case. It was, well, if I do this for you, then you owe me this. You know what I'm saying? So anyways. And then that kind of touches into this last point that I wanted to make for grieving the loss of quote unquote being taken care of, even though that care was conditional and manipulative. That to me, like when I look back in hindsight, it was the biggest illusion because one, I was broke. Two, I was in major credit card debt, and I had a lot more debt than I have now. And it's like, if that was the case, then I really should have been in a better position, and I wasn't. It was like I was just blocked. I had this veil over my psyche. I had this veil over my consciousness that I couldn't even see. I couldn't even see how bad of a situation that I was in and how much better my situation is now. Now that I've got no contact, now that I've learned to take care of myself, now that I'm standing on my own 2 feet, it's like everything that I still have payments on, like my phone's almost paid, my car is almost paid, and the last thing I have now is student loans, and thank God it's like only 20K student loans. When the majority of my graduating class, I know they had at least 100K in debt. And so I feel like digging yourself out of 20K debt is really not as hard as it would be with 100K. So anyways, not trying to be comparative or anything, but just trying to shed light on the situation that I feel like we tell ourselves that our situation is going to be worse if we leave than if we stay. And it's actually like the total opposite. Okay? Like, I feel like I'm in a better space and a better energy to open myself up, open up my nervous system for more financial abundance, more financial freedom. And I'm actually setting myself free financially and also in my career by taking that risk, by making that choice of leaving and going no contact. So I have a little bit of a prompt for you, a little bit of self-reflection of, I want you to ask yourself this. I want you to journal this and also ask yourself out loud. Have you ever caught yourself wishing they'd suddenly change and finally love you the way you need? That wish right there is grief. And naming it, labeling that, gives you power. Okay? That right there gives you all the answers that you will ever need and that you are going to constantly search for. Okay? They're never going to change. They're never going to love you the way you need them to. So the thing that needs to happen next is you need to start making decisions for yourself and choosing what's better for you and choosing peace and choosing that freedom, choosing that sovereignty, and start learning to love you. Learn to love yourself, every version of yourself that you're going to move through while going no contact and while making this big exit, and also nurturing your inner child. Oh my God, that was such a huge eye-opener for me when I moved out and when I went no contact was, wow, like I feel like I can go rollerblading and be in total authenticity and be in total peace and total liberation and like be in total freedom to be myself. And before, when I think about that, if I were to go do that with my narcissistic mother, like I wouldn't feel that way. I'd feel miserable. I feel like there's this energy of being like put down. I'm like, ugh, like why are you so happy? Why are you so like enjoying yourself? You're not allowed to enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just this weight that was lifted off of my shoulders after making that huge decision. And so I believe the same thing is going to happen for you when you decidedly muster up that courage within, that strength within to make that choice. It's a painful fucking choice, but these are your options. It's 1, have peace, have freedom, and treat your life as if your parents passed away, or continue to engage with those toxic parents and choose to overstimulate, overwhelm your nervous system, trigger autoimmune disease, trigger inflammation, trigger sleep disorders, trigger all these different problems, trigger hair loss, trigger stress, trigger all of this unnecessary stuff that you're putting yourself through that you know you don't have to deal with if you literally just end the relationship. And I'm not talking about for those people who really just need to navigate different dynamics and learn to compromise after conflict and do the repair and all of that in order to keep growing and maintaining relationships. No, I'm talking about those narcissistic parents that are so dead set in their ways. They are refusing with every ounce of their energy to change and to want to be better. They are utilizing every ounce of their energy and their consciousness to refuse to take accountability, to refuse to take responsibility, to refuse to have any kind of empathy and any kind of understanding whatsoever, and that they're always going to send this energy of I'm right, you're wrong, it's my way or the highway. Or also they can be embodying victim mentality, that they're always the victim in every situation, right? That lack of accountability, like it's always my fault, like that whole bullshit. Like fuck that, fuck all that, okay? Let's move on. I want to move on to the financial survival after estrangement aspect. And I want to discuss how narcissistic parents often sabotage your financial independence and create dependency. So they usually put some kind of guilt around money, or they'll withhold resources from you, or utilize money to control you. Oh my gosh, my narcissistic grandparents did this. I literally, when I was in university, when I was in college, my grandfather printed out this list of all of these different doctors that I needed to go see. And he told me that if I went and followed this list, if I went and saw all these doctors, and then if I practiced Judaism, if I claimed myself as a Jewish person, then he would pay for my tuition. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I don't need to follow your rules. I'm not going to follow your authority. I'm a fucking grown-ass woman. I know when I need to go see a doctor. I know when I need to go see somebody. And also, I've never been religious, and I'm not going to start being religious now all because you want to have some kind of financial control under your thumb. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. So, yes, today I have student loan debt, but you know what? Paying that student loan debt, it's a reminder that I chose myself over sacrificing my who I am. I chose to say, you know what? I'm going to stay true to myself and stay true to who I am than to be under your fucking manipulation and control. Because fuck that. Okay? And then also what narcissistic parents will do is they'll say things like, well, I provide a roof over your head and I keep food on the table. I do this, that, and the third. Okay, well, yeah, because you're a parent. And that's the bare fucking minimum. And that is something that should never be thrown up in a child's face. Because they're the ones that chose to spread their legs and procreate with a horrible fucking human being, just as horrible as they are, to have kids, bring kids into this planet, all to like throw that over the kid's head. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking for real? Be so fucking for real. I hate that shit. Oh, when I hear that, it just fires me up inside. Because I'm just like, you know what? You're the stupid ass that chose to get pregnant and chose to have kids, all to recreate this pain that you're feeling and that you just want to put that onto somebody else. You're a piece of shit is what you are, and you deserve to die alone. Yeah, I fucking said that. They deserve to die alone. Period. Anyways. And so another thing that you're going to go through after being financially estranged, after going through this financial survival after estrangement, is this shock of having no safety net and starting from scratch. Let me tell you something. In the non-physical, when you are in alignment, the universe provides. I am telling you, there has been crazy stuff that has happened at my restaurant job that honestly probably would have never even happened if I never left and also at no contact. Like, I have tables that tip me crazy amounts, and these crazy amounts are keeping my bills paid. Like, it's keeping food in my fridge, it's keeping my gas, my electric, my rent, like it's providing for me. It's literally providing shelter for me. And it's because I'm in alignment. I'm literally in my highest alignment of living on my own. And had I never made that choice, I'd probably be in a worse financial position, to be quite honest with you. So I just want to let you know that I know that starting from scratch and having no safety net is absolutely fucking terrifying. But at the same time, it's absolutely necessary because then you get to learn a lot more about yourself. You learn about your values. You start becoming more conscious with your spending. You actually become healthier physically, financially. You're like, wow, I actually don't need to be directing my financial resources to this. You know what? I'm actually going to start using what I already have, and then I'll have more financial abundance to get what I actually want, and then I'll actually value what I finally paid for that I've been wanting for so long. I know that was for me. Like, I was making this exit plan. I was making this game plan of how I want to pay off this debt before I moved out. Because in my mind, I was like, well, I'll be in a better financial position, right? But honestly, I'm in a better financial position now than I was saving up to move out, which is insane to me to even think about. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of emotional triggers around money that get triggered. So there's a lot of scarcity that gets triggered, a lot of guilt for investing in yourself, or even fear of success, okay? Or even you feel like you're quote unquote behind in your life because you were surviving while others were thriving. So I'm going to offer some validation here in this moment, and I just want to let you know that you're not behind. You have just been carrying this insane amount of weight that most people never had to and will never have to in their life, and you can't beat yourself up about it. I look at myself all the time still, even giving you this advice, I still look at myself and I'm like, damn, I'm 28 years old, almost 29, and I'm not where I want to be in life. I want to be free financially. I want to be free in my career. I just want to be spending all of my time 24/7 helping people get out of these narcissistic family dynamics. Like, I want to be this embodiment of truth that if I can set myself free, then so can you, okay? And that it is possible. It is possible to not only thrive after doing this, but to live in comfort and to actually live in luxury and abundance and live a lifestyle you never got to live before. And that's okay. That is totally okay to do. Sorry, there's like so many things that are coming up that I want to mention, which was I had this deep subconscious loyalty to my dysfunctional family of like, oh my gosh, if I surpass them financially or just do better in my life, that I'm betraying them. And that subconscious programming, that pattern was running my life. And it was running all of my choices that I was making in my life as well. But anyways, I felt like I had to bring that up for some of you. Okay, let's talk about the emotional labor of breaking cycles in the first place. So not only are you healing yourself, you're also reparenting your inner child and consciously choosing a new path. And there's this loneliness that comes with this of being the first to do things differently in your family. And oh my gosh, I was navigating this guilt of, am I abandoning them? Or am I actually finally choosing myself in a healthy, high vibrational way? And oh my gosh, I kept finding myself for the past, 6 months after going no contact. I kept telling myself, I was like, did I make the right choice of going no contact, or was I just being dramatic? And then I had to ask deeper. I had to go within as I was navigating this guilt that was coming up. And this guilt was actually coming from traumatized aspects of myself. It wasn't coming from a healthy place. And so in that moment, I was like, holy shit, like I actually did make the correct choice. I did make the right choice for my journey. And it sucks. Like, it sucks, but it's such a liberating feeling of finally choosing yourself, of finally choosing peace. And I'm like trying not to get emotional talking about this, but I had to balance this weight of hyper independence and this fear of asking for help as well that came with this. And let me just tell you that ever since I started asking for help, and not just financially, but just like allowing myself, I had to start allowing myself to receive help in small ways before I could receive even bigger amounts of help, like my next levels of unconditional love around help. And so a lot of my coworkers have been just so generous, and it honestly makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry because being the cycle breaker means that you literally are the blueprint, and this is why it feels so heavy. It's sacred work. And it's just so emotional to go through an entire upbringing of having help just be held above your head constantly your entire life, and then to just receive help and receive blessings with no debt owed. It's just such an amazing fucking feeling. It is such an amazing feeling. But anyways, yeah, I just want to say that there is this balance that you will find and that you will embody of learning when to function on your own, and also learning that it's okay to ask for help and to receive that help. Whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually, whatever it is that you need in that moment, however the help is manifesting, that it's okay to receive that and you're safe to receive that. That's a huge, huge, huge note that I want to make. And tell your subconscious, tell your nervous system, literally, I'm not kidding, say, subconscious mind, you're safe now to receive help, okay? You might get some pushback. You might get some pushback from programmings in your subconscious mind where it says, hey, it's not safe to receive help, when in actuality it is. And by communicating that to your subconscious mind and consciously choosing to look for newer and truer realities of that already happening, it's going to rewire your neurology and your neural pathways to start programming that as a new familiar, and then your nervous system is naturally going to feel safe receiving that help that you never received in your life. So, okay, I have some tools for you. I have some tools for some emotional and financial grounding. Okay, the first thing I want to say is give yourself permission to rest, even if the money isn't flowing yet. Ooh, this was so hard for me. I love to take my spiritual baths where I program my water to receive more and more financial abundance and my next levels of freedom, and to reset my feminine and masculine energy, to clear stress and tension from my day. And I swear to God, that has helped me so much. here I am, 6 months later, still successfully paying my rent and all my bills gracefully, and I still have an overflow of financial abundance at the end of my bills. I can still go do my self-care. I can still go to the grocery store and buy whatever I want. And it's just such a good feeling. So, ground your energy in safety and security with emergency contacts, with affirmations, and with community. Okay? Use some financially empowering tools like budgeting. Download, not an affiliate for this app, it's called NerdWallet. It sends you notifications like, hey, you're doing really good. You have an overflow this month, or it tells you, hey, you've been spending more this month, right? Like, it's a really great way to bring your conscious awareness into your finances. And yeah, I just love it so much. But what is one thing? There's something I wanted to mention. You know what? There's something I want to say. I want to offer a few ways to stay connected and to receive deeper support if you feel called, okay? Sorry, my throat is like totally dry. So, if you're feeling the weight of this path right now and you want and are desiring a safe, sacred space to transmute the pain into power, my Sacred Alchemy sessions are here for you. These are one-on-one deep dives that are going to help you reclaim your voice, set boundaries, and help you with your vision moving forward. As well as if you're looking for intuitive guidance that meets you where you are, I also offer private readings as well. These are perfect if you're feeling stuck or in need of some kind of spiritual clarity. And this entire podcast episode, I do want to mention that this is something I wrote about in my book that I've already published on Amazon, and it's totally raw, and it's an honest look at what it really takes to walk away, to rebuild and redefine safety on your own terms. And my book just serves to be an empowering tool that, hey, there is no energy more powerful than you, and it's there as that reminder. And I wrote that book to be so excruciatingly vulnerable with all of you that, hey, this is the kind of upbringing I had. These are all the different adversities that I faced, and I still exited. I am still successful. I am thriving on the other side, and you can be in that same position just like I was and just like I am right now. Okay? So anyways, I just want to say, I want to leave you off with these closing affirmations and this little reflection that you aren't broken. You are brave, and you didn't lose your family. You found your truth. And oh my gosh, you are going to find soul-aligned family and coworkers moving forward, and online support. So whether you're on social media or if you go and do things like in a fitness class, like, okay, you're going to find true, authentic family, and they don't have to be blood to be considered family. Like, you're going to find them. They are going to find you. And you are allowed to grieve and grow at the same time. And just know you're going to be okay. Everything is going to work out for you. It always does. And don't lose faith. Have a mustard seed of faith. That is enough faith that is going to get you forward and helping you push and persevere and take those baby steps to get you to your next levels with grace and ease, okay? I love you guys so much. I invite you to journal what part of me still wants their approval, what part of me is ready to choose peace over permission. Share this episode with someone who is grieving family estrangement or who is contemplating making this choice, making this decision. So yeah, anyways, I love you guys so much. I will see y'all in the next podcast episode for our next Wednesday deep dive. Bye for now.